Hey, good morning, family. Good morning, man. Welcome back to the channels. Brother Toby dropping another narcissistic gem. A narcissistic gem for you guys this morning, man. All right. So this segment, I want to talk about the two-facedness or the double life of a narcissist. One of the tools, first of all, before I get into that, if you're still not subscribed to my channel, you've been watching me for a while, please go ahead and do your boy a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I also do Bible studies here and there. I just speak about life in general. You know what I'm saying? And so if that's what you want to watch, then I encourage you to follow me. You know, but again, it's your choice. So I might make you do something that you don't want to do. But anyway, that's besides the point. So in this segment, I want to talk about one outlet or one tool that helps empower a narcissist live a double life, and that is this: social media, or aka the internet. Now, the internet has done a great job of strengthening the position of modernism, where things are so modernized now to where people shy away from traditionalism, like the old school ways of being a man or a woman. Not saying that everything that was bad. Not all old-fashioned things are bad. Some things are good. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say that about the Bible, even though the Bible is a very, very relevant work of antiquity, to this day. It's very, modernized, even though all it is just that, yeah, people living in a different time frame that went through the same stuff that we go through today. So anyway, when it comes to the narcissist, man, these people love to use the internet, all right? What do you mean by that? They'll, let's say they're married, they have kids, and I think when narcissists are married, it's easier for them to use their husbands, use their wives, use their children as props, right? So case in point, maybe a topical illustration. So let's say a narcissist could be, on social media or whatever, and let's say they have children or whatnot. What they like to do is screenshot, copy and paste postings on their page as if they're there. That's how I would say delusional. I don't want to say demented. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot more dark than anything. But yeah, it's very, very dark. They're so insecure to where they're afraid of what people would say about them, how people would view them, to the point to where they have to create these false narratives. All right. Now, let's say that the husband or wife is married, has kids, and they go for a photo session, right? Now, they could have gotten into an argument, could have been fighting like cats and dogs all the way there, based upon what the narcissist wanted, or things that the empath can control. Because from what I've seen over the past year, because I myself did do therapy, I always see narcissists married to empaths. Why? Because empaths are feelers. Like I said in a few videos ago, empaths are feelers. We're feelers. We're healers. We empathize. The narcissist has an arrested development when it comes to other areas. So what they do is they latch on like vampires to those who feed them or give them that, aka narcissistic supply. So when it comes to social media, they steal pictures. They will do anything to make them look like they're the hero, they're victorious, so on and so forth. Now, let's say, going back to this photo session thing, the narc and the empath can be fighting like cats and dogs, but by the time they get to the photo studios and all that, everybody's put on their face. Everybody, is acting the role. Why? Because they know that any sudden movement, any type of dysfunction could tee the narcissist off, and then what happens? They go back into that mode of destruction, tearing everything in sight like a hurricane, category 5 hurricane, and not caring about who's in its wake at all. That's what narcissists do when it comes to those type of sessions. Now, for the narcissist, they have to have their hair perfect, makeup or suit, because both men and women can be narcissists. Everything has to be picture perfect to their liking. The kids can be subpar. People might not have their hair done. They go out to the means of getting new clothes, spending money. That's another thing too, that they do not respect money. You know what I'm saying? Here goes a verse real quick. The Bible says, for the love of money, is the root of all evil, the love of money. But narcissists love money. Why? Because it is a conduit to help further their mission. You could be, listen, you have $5 left. They'll spend the last $5 for whatever need they want. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, they look to the empath to find or conjure or produce a way to come about the hole. But the empath is probably sitting there saying, hey, we don't have money for that. We can't afford this. But not to the narcissist. They don't care. As long as their purpose, their mission is fulfilled, then that's what it's all about. It's always going to be about that with a narcissist. All right? So again, social media is a prime example of where they can live this double life. Now, if you live with them, they could be hell on wheels. House is a disaster. It's literally like you're living with the Hulk. Now, we all know the Incredible Hulk, very powerful, superhuman, gamma rays and all that other stuff, right? He had anger issues. So when you married to a narcissist, they have anger issues. You have to tread carefully, or, if you're familiar with military, no pun intended, anytime you deal with ammunition or ordnance, especially in the realm of minefield or mines, where you have different things where, let's say you gotta tread carefully. Like if you're going through like enemy minefield, you can't step everywhere. Why? Because you step on certain devices, you're gonna blow up, and then next you know your legs are gone, or you're just dead indefinitely, depending on how many pounds of explosives are there. So when you live with these narcissists, man, there's a lot of double standards. There's a lot of fakeness. There's a lot of stuff that really you're dying, you're losing. And then this will probably be like one of my last points here, is that you're dying to who you are character-wise. Listen to me when I tell you this, guys. This is so serious, because I've come across many men who were connected to narcissistic women, and it's harder for us because we're so internalized. We don't project. We just taught to keep it all in, keep it all in, keep it all in. But then when we do let it loose or let it out, depending on who the audience is, they may or may not like us, or they may or may not empathize with us. And so that's another thing. But women, women, they can just do whatever they want easily, because people just buy into the emotions. If they are doing it for pure motives, or if they're not doing it for pure motives, then just because they're a woman, not trying to be sexist, but just because they're a woman, they're female, hey, she's going through this and this and this, not knowing the other side of the story. But another example I want to use, that narcissists are the perfect examples of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. During the daytime, he was Dr. Jekyll. At nighttime, he was Mr. Hyde. Two totally different people. And so the only people who know who the narcissists really are those who live with them. Period. All right? The narcissist has a good way of masking who they really are. Because at the end of the day, they're just vampires, essentially. They're vampires. They are parasites. They'll feed off of you until you have nothing left to give. And once that's done, then they'll throw you away. Why? Because here's the sad part. Because while that's going down, they have already prepared for their exit strategy, their way out, their next victim to play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's what it is. They hang around people who don't know them very well. Why? Because it's easier for them to fleece them over. It's easier for them to win them with an argument, with the victim mentality, so on and so forth. So in closing, social media is a great app that they use, to make them look better. I've already told you guys in the last videos where anytime they are the maid of honor, or any powerful position where it's power, because they ultimately are power hungry people, they want that position so that they can get accolades, recognition, when it could have been all the other people in the background helping them to get there. You see what I'm saying? So that's another avenue that I want you guys to be aware of. Listen, even be careful as to what you post on social media. when you're in a relationship, or who have narcissistic family members or friends, because they could be not involved with the family for years, but the one moment that, let's say you post a picture with the family and kids, and if you don't have them blocked, which is that's another thing I highly encourage. If you're not in a connection, y'all ain't cool, block them. It's there for a reason. So block them and don't share any intel with them, because they're creeps. They will go through your stuff trying to find things and evidence, because they're so insecure, trying to figure out who's saying what, who's talking about them, and in which you probably not even thinking nothing about them. You see what I'm saying? So be careful. And understand how these guys use social media. It's a tool. It's a powerful thing to make them look like somebody that they're not, because they're actors and actresses. So hopefully this helps somebody. Peace and God bless.